Hey, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It is Friday again. I say that a lot.
Every
Man,
week.
time just flies by. And Friday's a good day because I get to come hang out with all of you. And it's my day to catch up on everything and, do a little work from the computer. So I usually spend all day Friday up here in the office, which I did, right?
Yes, you did.
And what did you do today?
I went grocery shopping for your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I helped her move some stuff around she has that new little kitten out there. So she had to move the house and housing stuff around. And I think I spent like 3 hours with her.
Is it Memorial Day? Anyway, we'll get to that. We should probably, let's get a few hellos in real quick, but we want to start with Kent. Said happy Friday, Tag and B, and fellow freedom fighters. Welcome to another evening of a regular scheduled unprogramming get together. Let's see here. First one in was Kent and Paula. Welcome in. Mrs. Hacks, you are here early. Welcome in. Nito says hello all here. Let's see how long the power to the desktop works. May end up on my phone. Squatchy says, well, hello there, y'all. Any worms left? I have no idea what Squatchy's talking about. Greatest name on the internet.
Half a block
is in the house, as is Terminator. American Roots Farm. Hey, Jess and Joe. I got some great pictures of you, Jess, in here tonight. Redneck, welcome in. We're going to talk about an event for you coming up here pretty quick. Dana Green, hello, hello. Carrie Davis says happy Memorial Day. Is it Memorial Day?
Monday.
Memorial Day would be Monday, right? Yeah. Anyway.
Friends.
Jane Marie, welcome in. Sharpshooter, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, I have, Sharpshooter, the greatest picture of your wife in the live tonight. Like, I didn't know she had that level of savage, but when B sent me the picture, I was pretty impressed.
She's
Lisa,
remarkable.
welcome in. Lindsay Freeze, it has been a while. Good to see ya. How are ya? Welcome in. Oh, Squatchy says early birds got the worms. Yeah, no Friday pack. Hey, no live is complete
without a pack rat,
and no live is complete without tagging me. Right? All right, cool. Well, everybody, we'll get rolling tonight. There's a lot going on, and Helen, happy harvest. Helen, welcome in. Says Memorial Day weekend. Okay, got it. You don't confuse me like that, right, Carrie Davis? I'm easily confused. Anyway, there's lots going on here. Probably as it is for a lot of you guys. The garden is full bore. And it's every day. It's all day. And
full-time job.
Yeah, it's literally a full-time job.
I got a little mowing in today.
For like what, 10 minutes?
No.
I was listening to you. You didn't last very long.
Well, I went all the way down the dam and then did some circles and came all the way back up.
Oh my goodness, the king himself, Jeff, Juicy, Hefty Lefty, Amazon, Mud Dogger, Slick. Phyllis is in the house. Well, we had a new one. What was it?
Oh.
We added one to it. We had an opportunity to add one to it. But it ain't any good if we don't remember.
Was it about the hose or something? Was it about the cedar?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Lou, help us.
Yeah.
No, I know you know.
Let's see here. RN, welcome in. Good to see you. Stan Guthrie, welcome in as well. Whisper Creek says, what the FB? I thought we were friends.
I don't even know what picture he's talking about.
Yeah, you'll see. It's a good picture. It brings out the essence of Whisper Creek. It says, I am a real life trad wife.
Let me think. What picture was it?
Uh-oh. Tag.
You're going to have some big muscles.
Yeah. Helen wants to know if you're making any honey. I didn't know you made honey.
My bees? No, I don't know. I haven't been over there.
Mm-hmm.
Tag is going to come and help me lift some boxes.
Yeah, anytime.
He's going to
let me know.
Suit up and put some boots on.
Yeah, I'm going to suit completely up because they hate me. So, hey, Charlie.
They don't like the way you smell.
Charlie, Great House 2100. Charlie, how are you? Welcome in. Good to see you. Well, let's get started. We had an interesting week from a weather perspective. I always tell you guys that where we live, we really don't get a lot of tornadoes. We really don't. We get a few here and there. Well, this week was the exception, and we got them. And it, not obviously where I live because I'm talking to you, right? But there was
we weren't hit.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch all over Kansas. And hey, Mark Doak, how are you? Welcome in. Mario, how are you? And you know what? Up there, I've totally missed her too. Jen is in the house as well. Jen and Mario. Oh, good. Terminator says tag and Freedom Family. Starla is doing better. Yeah, Starla's had some medical challenges lately, and so you prayer warriors out there, let's make sure that Starla gets many, many, many of them, and that's how we do it around here. And please send them her way. And I know she's doing better, but it can absolutely never hurt, right? So we should have known that the weather was going to be a challenge because, and we found the Dominator was parked at a local gas station.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Fueling up. And that usually tells you that they're hunting, tornadoes. So,
yeah, you don't want to see them in your area.
Well, but they have to drive through our area to get to Oklahoma. So it's not necessarily, right, or Texas.
Usually they're already down there, though.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we seen them. They were here, and there were so many spotters, tornado spotters, and, storm chasers in our area. There was a time when they were showing the map of them, and there was hundreds of them right here in our area up here in northeast Kansas. The pictures you guys see on the right, there are actual tornadoes from either our county or right around our county. The first one's from Richardson County, which is just 40 miles to the north. Both those tornadoes were pictured there. And then the picture down south, or just a little bit down, was just entering Jackson County, kind of on the other side. But there's some more. This one was in Nebraska, and this one over here was Sabetha, which is a town very close to me. We actually had one cross just north of the town that I live in. Well, I don't really live in town, but the closest town, let me back up. The closest town with a gas station, because we have a little town even closer, but the closest town with a gas station and normal stuff, it went just a couple miles north of it. So it was probably from here, the tornado touched down maybe 7 miles away. That's about right, you think? Up there by Jackson Heights?
Yeah,
somewhere up there, but it was absolutely crazy. Dana Green says,
wasn't that up by Callie and Jesse? Wasn't that up by Lou?
Yeah, a little bit north of them, but the king himself was probably closest to it.
Yeah.
Jeannie and Shane would have been up there pretty close to it too. But yeah, I'll bet
more north. Jean?
Yeah. And it went kind of north of
Hacks are more north of her.
And so it would have went between Hacks and Jeannie and Shane, kind of right between the two of them. Let's see here. Terminator says, we were under a tornado warning, but one big one hit 4 hours south of me in Ontario. Hey, gratitude to Grace. How are you? Welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Oh, anyway, it was interesting experience. There was a time where the sirens start blaring because there's a tornado confirmed in my county.
Phones go off.
And of course, B goes running for storm shelter.
Well, I wanted to make sure it was cozy in case you came down.
I didn't come down.
Turn on the light, open things up.
Yeah. So guys, just so you guys know, if you're in a county and the tornado warning goes off, does not necessarily mean that it's barreling towards your house.
Your house.
Right. It means that there is a tornado, either radar indicated or spotted on the ground somewhere in your vicinity. And so if you just, for me, what I do,
go outside.
No, I just took a deep breath and looked at it. Now, luckily, we have on our local Discord channel, Indiana Mike broadcasts it live the whole time. So we've got it running constantly.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. And so I can track it. I knew where it was. I knew that it wasn't anywhere near us. I knew that it was north of Holton. I knew that it was 7 or 8 miles away. And so I was just paying attention to it, and it was fine.
Yeah. Whatever he does, there's like different people that pop in and say things. And so it's a open, well, you're not talking, other people are talking. And so it's just lots of information from different areas, nickel size hail here and different things over there. And
let's see here real quick. Lazy Loper, welcome in. ECM Homestead, how are you? Hey, how close did all that get to you guys? Because where it would have come down would have been fairly close. Would have been fairly close to you guys, I would think, too. But anyway, Terminator said, got my 50 meat chicks today. They're doing great. Love that. Sharpshooter says, don't you know you were supposed to go outside and look when you hear the sirens? Right.
Right. Everybody does that. Duh. Not me.
Yep. Helen
Not me.
says B is definitely on alert, which is like me. Good job, B.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to be there first.
Lazy Loper said, I'd be running too with all the animals. Yeah.
Yeah, I had already gone out and locked people up. Speaking of people, cows didn't come home yet, so I'm waiting for them to swing around any minute.
Yeah. Jen says, tell the truth, Tag. You grabbed your fake tornado siren.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a time where
he does that when people are around,
especially new people. So Mike and Jen were here. I think Jeff and Louise were here, and Jen and Jess and Joe were here from American Roots. Yeah. And they weren't from here, and so there was
was that when Mike and Mike and Jen were here too? Because isn't that when they got their trucks stuck in the
yes
in the woods? They drove their trucks into the woods.
Yeah, so I have a tornado siren on my phone, and so we were just sitting around chatting. I just let it go, and the look on everyone's faces, I thought it was funny, but
run, grab your purse.
Yeah, you never know. And ACM Homestead says that was north of us. Sirens went off. Yeah, Terminator says we have nowhere to go. So me and Mr. Terminator with Little Terminator go into the big old RV and strap ourselves in. I'd rather be flipped around than squashed or blown away by a cabin. I agree. Yeah, and Hack says, right, sharpshooter. Mr. Hack stood outside till the rain started. Lazy Loper says, got our Keats yesterday, but they're dropping like flies. Yeah, they look for reasons to die when they're young.
The Keats?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Keats were pretty resilient if they didn't have anybody losing them. Keats. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think all of them are weak when they're little. Chickens are probably the toughest, but RN says a storm shelter would do no good if you're not in it. I know, but you can't.
Thank you, RN.
I'll just leave it at that. Thank you, RN. Let's see here. Packrat said, at the in-laws, they keep working and watching the sky go green on the horizon. I had to clamp onto the cedar post uprights of a shed to keep from blowing away. Ugh. Gypsy says, I need to borrow my auger again. Have to rebuild a loafing shed? Sent you a picture of the winds blew the sides.
Oh, wow.
Come get it, buddy. It's ready. We joke all the time. I have a lot of us have skid steers and tractors and stuff. And so a lot of times we share implements. And so I have an auger that Gypsy uses more than I do. And so it's an inside joke about his auger. Let's see here. Graduate Grace says, start a pot of coffee, then go to the shelter. Have coffee, will survive. Yeah, I agree with that. Mark Doak said, just a warning for those who had a jab, get checked, please. That's all I can say about it right now. Can say any more info. Well, you're welcome to say whatever you want when you feel comfortable. Yeah, Nito said, you guys keep the tornadoes. I'll keep the little earthquakes. Helen says, what do you do with the animals in case of a tornado? Nothing. The truth is, you hope you let them out and then they fend for themselves, because you're not going to take 7 cows and 100 chickens and 50 turkeys and 30 guineas and 2 geese and dogs. Dogs we'd probably take with us, but
into a shelter.
I would, yeah. If I knew it was headed this way, if I could get them in the shelter, I would. But
right,
that,
you would have to.
Hey, look at that! Permatopia Farm is in the house. How are you, Mandy? Love runs rampant as well. Good to see you. You never know. Says there was one house on 16 that got hit about 6 miles from us. Yeah. Mossy Oak says we sat outside too. It must just be a Midwesterner thing, because again, it's not. I'm not to say don't take it seriously, because you absolutely take it seriously, but I would rather take it seriously with facts than to just guess at what's going on.
Yeah.
And the problem is the way our storm shelter is built, your cell phone will not work down there. There's nothing working.
No, you can't get a signal.
No, zero chance.
You have to have the weather radio halfway up.
Yeah. So instead of just going down there and being in the dark, I would rather watch it. Now where I was watching it, I was 10 steps from the shelter. I'd make it quick, but let's see here. Dana Green says, Starla, my family won't hear me talk about the jab. I did to some of them. Mark says, it's serious is all I can say. At Dana Green, it damn near killed me. Yeah. Ouch.
Mm.
Yeah. American Root says, I agree with Gratitude Grace. Coffee equals all good. American Root says, thanks for letting us use your auger, Gypsy. That was very nice of you, Gypsy. Very nice. Hey, American Roots, just so you know, gypsy spelled with a J. Just so you know. Okay. See here, I know a lot of people who have built tornado shelters for their show horses.
Wow.
Dana says they think I'm crazy. I wouldn't do it, but they're talking about the jab. Let's see here. Okay.
Maybe we can use the Wallapini as a tornado shelter for the animals.
Babe, it never fit. I'd have to build you a football stadium size.
So I'm saying, like, we'd plan it into the plan.
Oh yeah. Who thinks I should build a football stadium size Wallapini? Like, come on, B. Got to give me some grace in this.
I was just saying, like, it didn't have to be football. Come on. We only have 7 cows.
Some news in Kansas: cattle theft across Cass County in Missouri.
That's crazy.
But it isn't just that. So once you sent me that, I went and did some research, right? Which I always do. And there have been stolen cattle recently out of Wichita, out of Winfield. So there have been lots of cases of stolen cattle, and obviously the price is way up on them. And so protect your cows, everybody. Gratitude to Grace says to American Roots, if you know, you know. Yep. So watch your cows, watch your animals. I would be incredibly upset if someone stole my animals.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
After all that work,
I still don't see them.
Raising your own animal is not cheaper, I promise you. You think it is, but it ain't. By the time you calculate your labor, your food cost, they got out, the fix the fence, all the stuff that goes
Even
into
just
it.
The time of feeding them.
Yeah.
Checking on them.
Yeah, it's not cheaper. We got to go out. We got to go out and have dinner, didn't
lovely.
we? Why don't you tell them about our dinner we had?
That is not what that was.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah. Don't you just love when you get to edit pictures however you want?
So tell us what we had for dinner.
We had steak and carrots. Is this a carrot? What did she have in her? Why did you do that to her eyes? That looks like a great steak, though, by the way. Good job picking it.
Did you not pick up a steak with your fork and eat it?
It was, yes, but not that. Why'd you do this?
Well, Jess is very concerned about what kind of stuff they spray on things. So she was looking for glyphosate.
She was looking for it?
Yeah, and I just happened to catch her with her eyes at the right time. Just the perfect picture. What do you think?
You did that.
Oh, my goodness. What is going on? I bet they're real pretty like her. What is going on? Hey, can one of the mods in there at least just monitor that one? Something's weird about that comment. That's great. Carrots from Tag's Big Salad. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'll quit being mean. All right, these are your pictures, so why don't you tell us what's going on?
Oh, what is the... I don't know.
You said, Marie, that's the start of
so the top picture is the tomato bed. That's MMR putting hay on the bed. I had to weed it. I think that's what was going on in the picture below. I don't know who took that.
You sent it to me. I should put it in.
Anyway, that's the tomato bed going in, one of the tomato beds going in. And then the other picture with the leaves, those are the mulberries that are coming up on that tree inside the garden. Yeah. I see why. See, it wasn't me that did anything to the picture. I just want you to know that. That bottom picture with the wagon in it, I'm not sure exactly what that is a picture of. It's quite small. And I said the other two.
Okay.
The mulberries are, it's weird because none of the fruit is on the inner part of the tree. They're all, only the fruit that's on the very tips of the branches are remaining. So I think that something is going in and eating
your mulberries,
the fruit off of the tree. Yeah, I believe so.
Well, we've never had really that problem with that tree. We've harvested mulberries every year, right?
we've harvested several times.
Yeah, I mean, it's been full of them, right?
I'm not sure. I think last year we ended up not getting any because of something.
Yeah, probably because we didn't harvest.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Okay. No. Yeah.
Tell them this story.
Okay,
this was interesting.
This I don't quite understand. We were in this garden on, I don't know what day it was. What day was this that I bothered you?
I was working.
You were working and I bothered you.
Mm-hmm. That was yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Good grief. The days are long. They are. When it gets dark late, I'm out getting the cows in at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. So we were in this garden on Wednesday then, and then everything looked fine. Thursday, Jess came over and she goes, "Hey, were you in here earlier?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" No. And she goes, "Were you in here digging or pulling weeds or anything?" And I'm like, "No, why? What?" And she goes, "There's holes everywhere." And I'm like, "What?" And I come around the other side of the car and I walk over to where she's at, and there's literally holes everywhere in this garden, like up and down each row, underneath the tree, all the way in the back. How big is that? How many square feet is that garden?
I don't know. 4,000, probably 5,000.
There are holes everywhere in this garden. So we took some pictures and got basically everybody that was here to come and look at it. And then the Ambers go home and do some research, and they thought maybe it was a skunk, or what did I tell you?
Yeah. So let me see here. Ito says it's a skunk. Lisa says it's a skunk. And RN says armadillo.
Oh, armadillo. Yeah. So it said, or armadillo.
Right.
Was another one. And she said, I have seen armadillos here.
Yeah, they are here. We've not very many of them. Yeah, Whisper Creek says it's an armadillo.
So
I've seen
how come only in this particular garden? Because there's 3 gardens, 2 that have mulch, heavy mulch on them, on the walkways, and 1 garden that's affected like this. How come only 1?
That's the one that I got into, apparently. And I don't know what it is, but I've seen dead armadillos on the road. Like traditionally, we would not have them here, but I've watched them migrate over the years further and further and further north to where I'm seeing them dead on the road in Topeka. So if they're at Topeka, they would certainly be up here, But let's see who Gratitude to Grace says that's what ours looks like. We have ground squirrels that do that everywhere.
Okay, so what's the difference between a ground squirrel and a tree squirrel? What do we have?
Probably the same thing. Whisper Creek says no. Think skunk, but armadillo is option 2.
I think skunk. I think
RN says maybe they are after the insects underground. Yeah, the
grubs.
The grubs, stuff like that. Hey, Rhonda, welcome in. It's what they're looking for and found it, so they are looking for more. Right?
Is it because that's the tree that because this garden has the mulberry tree in it? Are the mulberries somehow?
No, they're looking
feeding the ground, something
looking for bugs,
making the bugs go into that.
They're looking for bugs. If it continues to be a problem, I'll go up there with night vision and I'll sit there and take care of whatever it is.
What do you mean if it continues to be a problem? It's a problem.
I mean, what I'm saying is, does it come back? Is this just a one-off?
No. It was okay, so go back and look. How am I supposed to know? Should I rake it all back over and then come back out?
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, everybody, I want to welcome Silver Lining in, but such a huge thing. She says, hello, Freedom from the last weekend at her payroll.
Oh.
Yeah, big congratulations. I don't know, I know there's a few people on the live night that know, but I know her journey, and she has fought and scrapped and clawed to get out of the system and to do the right thing and to be square. And she's worked her just absolute tail off, and she's officially retiring. And super great. And I just can't tell you, Silver Lining, how proud I am of you. I am extremely proud.
Yes.
of you.
Yep, that's great. Congratulations.
Yep. Backrat says, I see them bloated on the side of the road in Middle Tennessee. They follow the fire ants up here. Oh, interesting. Let's see here. Jen says, Silver Lining, I'm so excited for you. I was thinking about you today while I was driving. Oh, great idea. Wait, sorry. Hippocrates says, get a game camera.
Mm.
Yeah, that'd actually be a really good solution. American Root says, congratulations, Silver Lining. Packrat says, congratulations, Silver Lining. Terminator says, congratulations, Silver Lining. Hack says, congratulations, Silver Lining. Half Bubble Off Plum says, congratulations, Silver Lining. You Never Know says, congratulations. Gratitude Grace says, congratulations, Silver Lining. Dana Green says, congratulations, Silver Lining. And ACM Homestead says, congratulations, Silver Lining. Silver Lining, if you don't feel the love, I can't help you. Just saying.
You didn't click on hers.
She said, thank you all. So this is the tomato row that they just got put in. How many tomatoes did you plant? How many tomato plants?
189, I think.
189 tomato in this one row?
2 rows.
2 rows. This is just one of them?
Yeah, 2. Well, basically 3 rows because one is an arched area. So we've got 3 rows. This one is like 68 feet long of tomatoes.
Yep. Gypsy says congratulations. RN says congratulations. Hippocrates says congratulations. And Nito says ground squirrels are in-ground nesting type. Tree squirrels live in the trees. So we have tree squirrels. We don't have in-ground. Right?
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Okay. So there's another this row.
Yeah, so this was them getting it ready.
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to stay in front of them working. They were working in the corn. They were working in the Four Sisters, putting beans in, putting squash, putting melons, putting sunflowers, while I was over here weeding this area. And then they came over to this area and started doing the next step while I went over to the squash and started weed eating that area.
Permatopia says congratulations, Silver Lining. Nito says congratulations, Silver Lining. Whisper Creek says congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So this is them after they finish planting them. And as you guys can see them, they're on both sides of the trellis and they go all the way down.
Yeah, this was we were working on putting the hay back up and around it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one advantage. Out here you can get old hay, like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years old hay that someone didn't use for free if you just go get it in many places, which is where all this hay comes from. And it does 2 things for us. One, we get to cover ground cover, which helps, but also it's bringing minerals and stuff from other land, bringing it back into our land, which we really like. Yeah, Helen says, are you going to can all those tomatoes?
Well, me and other women, other people, other folks, not necessarily women, because he's going to help too.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Mark Doak says, Nitos, all I can say is that cluster clots and other things they said about the jab is true. Yeah. RN says, just be glad you don't have fire ants. Mrs. Hack says, you're slacking, B. Our record is 250 tomato plants. No! 50 to go. Got to break the record.
I don't have any more. They're all planted.
They're all planted. Okay. Well, Mrs. Hacks, it looks like your record stands.
If the nope, they're all, we put them all out.
Yeah, Helen, on the comment about canning them, all you need in life is, a combat, gardening squad, right?
Yeah.
And a combat gardening squad will fix many, 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 many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in order to get the ketchup and the tomato sauce and the salsa and the spaghetti sauce and there's a lot of tomatoes in that, not just for our family, but other families. So we need a lot of tomatoes.
Hey, Julie Withers, welcome in from Washington, D.C. All right. What do you got going on here?
So this first first picture is the next step.
Yeah, these are still in the greenhouse. Did anybody think, what are they? Pumpkins, right?
These guys have got to get out. They've got to get out. They're
Carrie Davis says a silver lining for silver lining. Stan Gunther says congratulations, silver lining. Hey, Skanes girl, welcome in. All right.
Oh, that
go back.
picture that's the cilantro we harvested, and the Ambers took it home and washed it up, and we're going to dehydrate it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
She has the cilantro. She has onions, or is it onions? Well, chives from the garden, and we'll put those in the dehydrator. I think she says too that she had a little bit of tarragon from her own garden that we could put in there if it doesn't cross contaminate each other.
Yeah, those pumpkins got to get out of there.
Yes, that's the next step.
Okay.
And those are not just, I mean, there's several other pumpkins that also need to go out.
Yep. So you guys know that when you live life and you try to be sustainable and you try to eat healthy and all of those kinds of things, you're not really using a lot of pesticides, right? You're doing a lot of it, you know, either the hard way yourself or you're creating systems that does things for you.
Yeah.
And so I think that the Combat Gardening Squad has figured out the perfect solution for potato bugs.
Yeah, we recruited children, local children in the area. We paid them with time on the trampoline.
So they had all the community, not all, but a handful of community kids out hand picking potato bugs off potato plants.
We're like,
how many did you get?
Hands on deck.
Yeah, how many did you get?
What, the potato bugs? I don't know. That was the Ambers working on all of that. They were in charge of that.
Yeah. Whisper Creek says chives, onions, and tarragon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is, see, the bugs are pretty noticeable there.
Yeah. Yeah, those are potato beetles.
She says, we have a problem.
Yeah.
What do you think about backup? And I said, yes. And she goes, I'm on it.
Yeah.
And look at those smiles on those faces.
Yeah, they're very, very happy about it. Yeah, Nito says, laugh out loud. Oh my, that's awesome. Yeah, Jen says the rough math for a quart of tomato sauce is about 15 paste tomatoes. There are 52 weeks in a year. How many days a week do you use sauce in some form? That's a lot of tomatoes.
That's a lot of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Because you're talking ketchup, you're talking...
Yeah, but here's the thing is that...
barbecue sauce, you're talking...
What we grow benefits many people. It isn't even just us, right? I mean, it goes to a lot of places and, you know, and that is also true for livestock. That's true for a lot of things, you know. Dana says, that's great. Kids will know where their food comes from and how to fix it. Oh, yeah. And these kids already know. These kids, I've known them their whole lives. And they're great kids. I have a great relationship with them. And so I think this is just a beautiful, beautiful picture. These pictures I will save in my archive because they're just that cool, you know.
And they work for guineas.
They work for guineas?
Guineas.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Farmland Forwards, welcome in. All right. Now this is your four sister.
Yeah, this is the corn.
Corn looks very sparse
in the background. No, it's in it's in a cluster, and then the squash is on the outside of the cluster, like around the outside, and then the sunflower is down the back. So they're kind of away from them. They're over there. The corn.
I see they're over there. They just look sparse.
Yeah, because you're not looking very well. Look better.
How about that? They still look sparse.
Look harder.
Yeah, Nito says, hubby thought I was crazy when I planted 74 tomato plants. Yeah. Isn't there a natural spraying like cayenne pepper or cinnamon to keep the potato bugs away? That's a you question, not me.
DE. We planted other like basils. We planted marigolds. Onions, Elysium.
Risk Creek says, yeah, but the rain. Right.
was a lot of
All
rain.
right. What do you got here?
These are the strawberries.
It's funny. These strawberries are in the greenhouse. They already have strawberries on them. What's that tell you?
We're lucky. Some have flowers, some have strawberries. It's like, hey, let me help you.
Dana Green says, how far apart are the corns from each other? Well, pictures can be very deceiving, but to me that looks like a foot when they should be.
No, look at this.
It's like this. Okay, you give me one example. Pick any other place on the whole map. She picks the two that are closest together and finds it in like 6 seconds.
It's because of the way the picture is, buddy.
So are you going to put strawberries on the ground?
Yes.
Is that next?
That's second next. The squash or the pumpkins, and squash, those are next. The strawberries are.
When are you putting them in the ground?
Second next. When we get the rest of the food forest fence up. Because these babies will be gone in minutes.
When are you going to put the squash and the pumpkins in?
My next opportunity,
which will be
in Sunday probably, because we have
Sunday. Okay.
After breakfast. Whoa!
So here is the garden crew for the year.
Part of them.
Yeah, B and Jen. See, that's the picture you sent me right there. Of Whisper Creek.
She was knee high and
and she's just
a rice paddy.
Yeah, scything away,
whacking at a jungle bush.
Yep.
And there's me with my man arms.
Yeah, Dana Green says they need to be closer for pollen to fall on the silks. About the corn.
The pollens.
Yep. So that's Buff B and Jeanette and. Then that's the Savage herself, Whisper Creek, and then Jess from America.
She's trying to get out of the picture. She's like, "Don't take a picture of me," and I say, "My God,
she says, damn it, Rowdy! Come on, that's a great picture. Look at that picture. Are your kids laughing? Are they enjoying this? Because they really should. This is a great picture of their mom hard at work.
She would cut your knees off.
She would cut my knees off.
Yeah, she would knock you down to size.
Yep. Guys, and we make lots of fun because it's fun. I make lots of fun because it's fun. But
I'm a bully, more or less.
Jen says the Garden Reaper. Hey, Regenerative Orchards, welcome in. And goes, dang, sun's out, guns out, B. Yeah, B's B. She got some arms on her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nito said, I received green stalks for Mother's Day to try to grow some strawberries. Love that.
Oh, I love that.
Whisper Creek says, I invited people to this live. Good. They can see you in your natural savage self.
Kicking butt. Tell them, don't mess with me.
Yeah, would you guys want to be on the other end of that swing? I wouldn't.
I'd be back.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Tell your kids, Whisper Creek, that if they want me to save that picture for them, I can send it to them.
She wants it as her screensaver.
Whisper Creek says that'll teach me. Truth is, guys, what I was saying was, as you know, I make fun, and I made that picture. That's not a real picture, but it's fun. Anyway, but the truth is, you're going to grow more food and accomplish more together as a team than you ever will by yourself.
Yeah.
And so you guys need the combat gardening squad. And if you go and find your combat gardening squad, if you go yoke up, you can absolutely accomplish big, gigantic things. And Sharpshooter said, that's an awesome picture. I thought so too, right?
He's going to get it tattooed on his back.
Yeah. Hippocrates says, I'm hearing a baseball announcer in my head that says, and the wind up, and yeah. So can you figure out who everybody is? Did you notice that your drill says tags on it? Because that's my drill that you keep stealing from me.
Oh, are these the people?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Silver Lining. Jen, Jess.
Look at the apron. I don't tell you who that is.
Lou. Silver Lining. Jen. Jess.
Military uniform. Got a notepad and a pencil in her pocket, and is always watering.
MMR?
Yep.
She's got a military uniform.
B, because she's got tags drill. Sunflower.
Yeah, that's the Amber.
Bread.
That's Jess.
No, the sunflower's Jess. The bread is Amber.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the plant commander, the soil striker, the fence fortress, the hydration hero, the herb maven, the vital vanguard, and the structural sentinel. What do you think?
You should put her in green.
Well, you know what?
That's why I said, why would you do that? Was in the military green.
That's what you come from all of that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The color of the outfit.
Yeah. Why don't you tell them about all your babies?
This is a surprise.
Yeah, tell them about it. We were out all day.
Yeah. Usually I'm, listening for the pips every second, but when you're not home and you're outside for the entire day, I was like, oh, it's bedtime. I got to check the brooder. So I came over here and I said, uh-oh, I got babies in there. And he goes, oh, okay, let's go. I'll help you. And I was like, I got a lot of babies in there. And he goes, oh, okay, I'll help you. And he opens it up and he goes, oh my gosh, there's a lot of babies in here. I said, I know. I think that there's a lot. So
how many did you hatch starting yesterday to today?
Was it 29?
29. Yep. So her first batch of chickens this year so far has produced 29, but you still have eggs in there, right?
I have 10 turkey eggs in there and that's it.
You have no chicken eggs left?
There's 12 in there, but they don't have any pips on them. So
okay. So we'll see.
And in this batch, I every green egg I could find from my batch, my harvest, I put in the incubator, thinking that anyone that came out that looked like the Sussex, I had a possible chance that Sussex might be a Easter egger.
You're trying to build a speckled Sussex Easter egger.
Yeah.
You have to live in your world.
That's what I'm trying to do. Otherwise, all the other eggs were just like tan.
And then this morning you had some turkeys, right? You got 3 turkeys today too?
No. No, I stole those from a bird I found outside.
Oh, so she hatched them and you stole her babies.
Yeah, so I found a bird outside. When I was mowing, the dogs were following me because when I mow, often rabbits will run out and then the dogs are like easy meal. So the dogs were following me behind the mower and they went up in front of me and there was a turkey that got all big and like, pushed him back. And so the dogs left and I was like, oh, well, she's obviously got something that she's trying to protect. So I sat there for a second and I could see these little tiny things moving in the grass because the grass was pretty tall.
Did you take them all?
No, I left her one. So I thought she had 5. Mm-hmm. And when I mowed and then I went back and grabbed a bucket and walked over there because I didn't want to. I wanted to listen to hear where they were. And so I walked over there and took one and brought it back. And then I walked all the way back over there and took 2 more and brought it back. So I left her with 1.
Hey, Frank's in the house. Welcome in. Says, good evening, Tag and B. You guys have been busy. We're always busy, Frank.
Busy.
My wife is a Mongolian slave lord.
Just trying to grow fruit. Rude, Frank.
Nito says, laugh out loud. Same thing I have going on. Babies. Helen says, how beautiful. Pack Rat says, I like green eggs and ham. Sam, I am.
Green eggs and ham.
Dana likes the picture. And Jen likes your drill. It's actually my drill, technically.
It works so nice, though. It really does. It just uses that auger, runs it right down, makes a clean hole.
Hey, you burn out my drills.
I think they're under warranty for 3 years or something like that.
Anyway, hatching is on, and we'll now hatch all the way through probably August. Yeah. And we'll just keep a constant rotation in. One of the things that I'm starting to do a little bit too is trying to reach out to my local geographic community. And, I've got a few people who'd like to start with chickens. And so
He's got like an order form.
Yeah, so I'm going to give them away and help people start that journey of food independence, because I think at the end of the day, what a great blessing. One,
Yeah.
It's funny. Everyone always asks me, well, how much do you want for them? And I'm like, just pay it forward. Do something nice for somebody that you don't know. Just go be cool. Because I think at the end of the day, if we can come together as a community, we can withstand a lot.
Yeah. Well, and you're helping them learn all about chicken rearing. And then if they keep them long enough, then the whole, having eggs and then possibly incubating for themselves. And it's a nice, especially if you have kids, that's a nice science lesson to go through.
Yep. So what do you have in the incubator right now?
10 turkey eggs.
Okay.
They're supposed to hatch Tuesday, or they go on lockdown, I guess, on Tuesday.
Oops. Mario says he'll take a half a dozen chicks. We can make that happen. We can absolutely make that happen. Easy peasy. Terminator says, I have a few ale ducks sitting on 13 turkey eggs and 1 chicken egg. Yeah, I think it's great when other species hatch, when you can sneak the eggs underneath them. When they'll accept them. Yeah. That's a good mama. Yeah, that's a good mama. Part of the reason why we have speckled Sussex chickens is because they're good mamas. And same reason why one of the reasons why we have Narragansett turkeys is because they're supposed to be really good moms. Yeah. Well, and they're harder to see in the grass. When you have a bright white bird in the grass, the aerial predators see that so much easier than a darker bird or a colored, like spotted or speckled or any kind of change of color. Well, I think we should be breeding our animals to be predator resilient, to be good. Yeah, the predators, I mean, when they're in the air, you can't stop them. Yeah. It's not just that. It's also to be good foragers, right? Because trying to get feed for them, you hope it's never a challenge, but it could be. And then also good moms. Yes, right? So they can raise their own. Right. Mario says she's got me drinking from a fire hose over here. Just what I need. Chickens. Yeah, well, the chickens are the easy part. We're going to get you the chickens. But what you're going to have to do, Mario, is get out there real quick and get a chicken coop built. Oh, you can get a real small one from Walmart right now for like $300. Yeah. And you just put it together. Yeah, and then you'll learn really quick that it's not enough. And then as soon as that gets for 6 chickens, then you'll get plenty. Yeah, then you'll give it away. And then you'll build a chicken coop. Don't forget, you need fencing. And as soon as you have keep it close to the house. As soon as you have fencing, you're going to realize also that you need several different pens, because you need a rooster run. And then as your babies are born, you need a teenager pen. And then you also need a quarantine pen. But pretty quick, you'll get it all wrapped up and you'll be squared away. Years down the road, buddy. Right now, $300 and some free chicks. You got a whole science thing going. Whisper Creek says chicken math. Yeah. Yeah, chicken math. That's right. Yep. Look at them pretty guys. Yeah. See, the yellow ones will turn out like bright white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. And then there's like one gray one that's like fluffy gray. Oh, he's right here, this gray one. Yep. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black ones. And then the Sussex looking ones are the ones with the stripe down the back. Mm-hmm. They'll end up with like spots. Hippocrates says, and chicken math, it's not addition or multiplication, it's exponential. Yep. Mario says, see, buy once, cry once. I'll build the Taj Mahal the first time. Yep, says the guy that just bought 30 magnolias for a privacy screen. Yep, looks like you're off. Yeah. Tag, have you been to my farm with all my chicken houses? I have. Love it. Mrs. X, I've said 1,000,000 times, you guys are the freest people I know. And these ones at Walmart are kind of like the ones that you have, but just I think they're probably not as sturdy. Yeah, I think I would not recommend anybody buy a chicken house. $300 chicken house from Walmart. No, because what you're going to get is a $50 chicken house from China. Just go build one. Look at that. Look at how pretty he is. Actually, both of them are boys. Yeah, I took that picture because you had the roux and the main turkey, Tom, in some kind of battle. That's Gary. It was 40, but who's counting? I could use another 40, but they were all out. 7% off on Memorial Day sale. It was awesome. That's going to be beautiful to have a magnolia. Yeah, magnolias are pretty. Yeah, I'd love to have a couple too. Yeah, those are nice birds. We don't do a lot of pretty stuff. We do all edible stuff pretty much.
Well, some of the pretty stuff.
I guess you got some tulips and stuff out there.
There's all kinds of pretty stuff. You got to quit running it over.
What is going on? I hate when it does that. When I stretch the photo.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'll just skip it. I don't know what is going on.
So
all right, we'll just start right there. So,
well, people could have seen them.
One of the challenges we have is that we need a full prison pen. We need a pen that nothing can get out of.
The dogs.
And this is in Bee's barn. And so I went and framed the ceiling in it so that we could create a complete lockdown pen. And we need to do it for a couple reasons. The first one is we have a big fireworks show coming up. And ever since Violet, our livestock guardian dog, got shot, she's really skittish when it comes to stuff like that. And so if we let it,
does not like loud noises.
If we let it go off, you never know what fence she's going to jump, because they can absolutely jump the fence.
Yeah.
If they want to.
You saw that.
Yeah. The other day I was coming home and Rosie, our other livestock guardian dog, had jumped the fence and was over at the neighbors. And Bee's like, I can't get her to come home. So I yelled at her and she comes a running, just leaps right over the fence and back in our yard.
Yeah. She just jumps right over the stupid fence.
So,
okay, well, I guess we're not stopping that.
Yeah. So anyway, when the bangs start going off, I want to be able to lock the dogs up. That's the first thing, but it also does a lot of other things for us. So if you ever have someone having a baby, or you're trying to lock up sick animals or whatever it is. Something, not a human.
Right. You said if someone is going to have a baby, we're going to lock it up.
But I mean, if someone wants to come have a baby in a barn, we could make a great video. Right? Mario says, by the way, if anyone's looking for a good deal on Memorial Day, Baumgart's in Topeka has got an awesome promotion. Yeah, I've seen that. I have not shared it with B yet, though, just so you know, Mario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's saying 70%. Chives are pretty. Chard is pretty. Lavender is pretty. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, magnolias are medicinal. There you go. Isolation pen. Good idea.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so anyway, I would show you those other pictures, but apparently they're weird. So this was the deck I built up on top. If you guys know Bee's barn, it's the whole stalls that I built. I'm starting to put the ceiling on them. And we're gonna lock this pen in. And as you can see, there's the rafters. Yep, that up there. So see the steel frame underneath it. I did that before, and so now I'm just running a ceiling. This is the project I'm going to finish up this weekend, because again, it has to get done by the July event, because I got to be able to lock the dogs up. And so I'm actually going to use chain link fence some, and then what I'm also going to use, and I've been waiting to use this stuff forever. I bought a whole pallet of composite decking that was used at an auction for $5. And so that's about half of it right there. The other half, by this time, I had already used it. But so I'm going to use composite decking halfway up, and then I'm going to chain link fence it all the way around. The gates, I'll go in my shop and I will weld and assemble and put together big, tall gates that fit really tight, so that nothing can come in and nothing can come out, and then we'll get a full lockdown. But this is my plan, is to finish up this weekend, is to get this all taken care of. Whisper Creek says, it's a nice barn, but I don't know about delivery ready for someone.
Yeah, for someone.
Yeah. Instagram says, tag, just make sure you have a way to get out of that cage just in case. Yeah, I'll make sure that there's yeah, I will.
In case you lock yourself in.
Yeah, well, if I just lock you in for fun and then come back a couple hours later.
I want a door that goes both ways.
I know.
By doors.
Yep, you've got some magnolia water sprouts ready to make a tincture. Oh, cool. Super cool. Real quick, one other note. If you guys see that red saw laying on there, that is probably the tool on the farm I use. I don't know about the most, because I use the drills and stuff a lot, but I use it a lot.
That's his saw.
That is my saw, and it's a battery powered Milwaukee. It's like the old worm drive saws, where the handle's back a little bit further, which I love because you can cut a much straighter line with them. I don't know how I would do it without that thing. I use that tool
You would just use a different skill saw.
Yeah, but then you're corded, and I can't go out in the fields, and I can't. The one really cool thing about the battery power one, I take it anywhere I want to go.
Well, they make other battery powered saws. You have a smaller Milwaukee one, a smaller.
No, I don't have a smaller Milwaukee. I have a smaller rigid one, and it won't do anything near like this. We don't have anywhere near the power this one does. This is a tool I wouldn't mind having a couple of.
It's not the battery. The battery doesn't have the power. No,
it's just a saw. Jen says they smell magnificent. We did a few of the grandiflora.
Magnolia.
All right. Another project I did this week, I put a water tank on the back of my four-wheeler.
Yeah, that's badass.
So, one of the things we've learned is that the biggest threat to our farm is fire. We have now fought 2 fires, and neither one of them we caused.
Well,
right?
3.
3. That's right.
The one up front.
That's right. 3 fires. And so we have the bee machine, which has a tank in the back and all of that kind of stuff. And we fight fires with it, but often you run out of water, which means you got to come all the way back and you got to fill up with water to go back. And by then you're back to fighting the fire again. So I wanted to create another fire rig, but on this one, I wanted to be able to snap off the tank really, really easy. And so you probably can't see it in this picture real well, but it actually just clips in and clip it in, clip it out. And so I had that all done. I bought a hose reel, which is what I did to Bee's machine too. It's a 50-foot hose in it, so that I can take it out and
it swivels around so you can water from any.
Yeah, I've got pictures of the mount.
Oh, okay.
In here, but
yeah, and he fabricated it. It's pretty cool.
I love to fabricate. Fabricating is just something it's if you don't do it right now, you will learn to do it on a homestead because you're always making something.
You have to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's
make it happen.
Right. I mean, if I had to, Google, okay, I need a water tank mount for a 2017 Polaris, blah, blah. I mean, good luck, right? I mean, you're going to find some stuff out there, but, I want it with a swivel hose on the side. I want it with a recirculating pump. I want it with, right. Yeah. Nito said, I've done that. Wind closed a coop door on me before we got the release on the inside.
That would be bad.
Yeah, well, it would be kind of fun, Nito, though, because it would make a really great video for me to lock Bee in there and then come back in 2 hours because she'd be livid.
Mad.
Oh, yeah, she'd be livid, livid, livid. That'd be fun. I'm sure you guys would enjoy that video. Would you enjoy that video?
I don't know. After 2 hours, I might be cooled off by then.
Yeah.
I'd probably be napping.
Why does it do that?
Because anyway, you turned the picture sideways.
Yeah, I must have. Anyway, forget the first 2 pictures. The picture on the right is while I was at my four-wheeler, I started thinking, hey, I got all these little things that need fixed. It needed a new console, so I put a new console in it. That's a brand new one.
Headlights.
Remember how it didn't work? It's got
yeah, you can read it.
Yep, it's got new headlights in it. I put a couple mounts on it. I exchanged
the old one.
It had a cigarette outlet on it, like for a cigarette lighter or a 12-volt plug, and I put a USB in its place. So since I already had it and I had it halfway tore apart, I just went ahead and fixed a bunch of the little things that's going on. I'm still waiting for one part.
Didn't the odometer have water in it?
Yeah, you couldn't see it. You couldn't tell how fast you're going. You couldn't tell, but that's not really what I care about. What I care about is the dummy lights. Hey, your engine's hot. The things like that, which is really the reason that I wanted it. Mario says that thing's badass. Good job, brother. Yeah. Hopefully this next picture come up. There you go. Now this is something that I'd never done before, but so when we hooked the pump up, I hooked an extra line going back down into the tank. And the reason I did this was by turning a valve, what you can do, like let's say Bee wants to use some kind of fertilizer or wants to use, she puts a bunch of manure in there or whatever it is.
Comfrey tea, for
an example. Let's use that. She can turn one valve off and another valve on, and it will just circulate the water in there. So it will self-mix it for you.
Wonder if that would clog the pump.
Well, there's a filter on the bottom of it, right on the part that goes down into the tank. There's a sieve.
That's right. He did show me.
Yeah, there's a filter down in there
inside the tank.
But this will make it we don't have to mix anything. Where you can just dump the stuff in dry or whatever it is, turn the pump on for a few minutes, let it circulate. It'll mix it all for you and off and running. So Bee can use it for that. But also, again, the main reason I did it is so we could go fight fires because it's continuously an issue for us here for whatever reason. My neighbors caught my place on fire twice, and we've caught our place on fire once from welding out on a fence line. But so now we'll have 2 full firefighting rigs on the farm, which I think is a really, really, really cool gig. Packrat said after 2 hours locked in the coop, Bee would be in the plotting revenge stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might be. Brett Boyd, welcome in. Yep. And of course, we built well and fenced the ground to keep predators out. I was good and stuck. Yeah.
Right.
Instigator said for firefighting, keep like a pint of high foaming dish soap, pump it in, poor man's foam, makes water go further, stay on the fire longer. Yeah, I love that.
Oh.
Yeah. Helen says, no, it won't be funny for Bee. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. That will not make me happy.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm excited about seeing how all this works.
Yeah, this has turned out nice.
Yeah, but it should be this disconnect right here, maybe it's a quick disconnect. So you can take the reel off. This one.
Why would you need to do that?
Because if you ever want to remove the tank, if you want to take something off, I kind of want everything to be able to pull apart real easy. You know, I don't want to make it, I don't want it to be permanently on there. It's a four-wheeler. It's not your, you know, your UTV that it has it all the time.
That kind of makes a backrest too then.
Kind of, yeah. You can strain the swamp juice through a big paint strainer bag so it goes through the Hudson sprayer or the like easier with no clogs. Yeah. Like I said, it's got a screen down on the bottom of it. I put like a ball screen on the bottom of the tube that's in the bottom of the tank so that it has some protection, but we'll see how well it goes. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about this real quick here. I'm gonna get rid of my picture real quick. Wait, how about, that's weird. Why would sound be gone? Is it back now that I put my picture back up? Wow, I have no idea.
Because you took your picture down, it took the sound off.
Yeah, but my sound is, look right there. It says it's going fine.
Can they hear you now? Back, yeah.
Okay,
back.
well, I'll just leave my picture up because apparently when I took my picture off, it was gone. Anyway,
they just can't see it.
The old one was really, really hard because there was just basically two of us, and it was really hard to manage. It got so full of spam. It was super expensive. We just couldn't keep up, so we got rid of it. But we brought it back in a simpler form, something I think we can manage long term. So I would love it, love it, love it if you guys can help to go in there and just make a post. Make a post about growing a tomato, make a post about building a barn, make a post about whatever it is. And it'll help me kind of populate the site a little bit.
And then try to get things.
Then we'll try to get it back and going. Yeah, the old one, when we launched it, we had 35,000 people on there within 5 or 6 weeks. And so I'd love to get people back. We're going to send a mass email out and all that, but I'd really like just a couple hundred to try it for a while before I do any, mass anything. But anyway, I would be excited and I would be indebted to you. And I would love it if you guys would take just a couple minutes to help a brother out to see if we can get Freestanding back up and running and off the ground. Thank you in advance. Don't forget, July the 11th, we have the Freedom Fest. Pat Militich will be down here. And see how I added your steak picture?
Oh, yeah. The big grand finale was me eating a steak.
It was. We're going to celebrate America's 250th birthday. And again, Pat Militich is going to come down and talk about soil, farm-raised food, family-friendly, lots of kid stuff, big fireworks show. And we're going to have us a whole... Okay, hold on. Let me answer this question real quick. Skane says, will your old sign-in work? So we did not record the sign-ins. So you can use the same sign-in you used before, but you'll have to re-register it. But you can use the exact same thing. You just have to go back through it. Dana said, I never could figure it out. Well, this one's a lot simpler, so I hope this is easier. Terminator said, I'm still trying to figure out how to comment. I'm trying to make a post. I wanted to post my video of my redneck washing machine. Oh, that'd be hot.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Dana says, yeah, is it still on the app? We already have. Nope, it's a brand new app. Yeah, there's the link right there. Here, let me see something.
It's an app?
Let me remove this. I'm going to try to help here real quick. Let's try this. Okay, so this is the Freestanding site right here, right? So if you wanted to post, see, there's new post right there. So see up here, Terminator, look right here. See where I'm hovering? It says post thread, right? So what category do you want to be in? So let's say like general chat and homesteading life. Title, right? You could say Terminator's washing machine, right? And then you come down here, right? And you can post media, smiles, you can type whatever you want.
Upload a picture.
Yeah, you can upload a picture. You can
yeah,
post media, which is whatever you want. Just post it. And then come down here to the screen button, hit post thread. That's it. Right? Super, super easy. Just go back to forums real quick. And so, like introductions, go introduce yourself's a good one. But any of these, you can come in, and if there's a thread title that we don't have, we'll just
say how many people are on there right now.
I don't know where that is yet. I have a message. See up here in the top, it says tag and be. Here's your message boxes up here.
What's new?
What's new? So I posted the Freedom Festival today. There's a marketplace. You want to sell your goods, you can do it here. It's already on there. See, like this one. I love this time of year, right? This was you hatching last night.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool. These are called threads.
Yeah. Let's
introduce yourself.
Media, right? See your content, your media, your album. So like you can actually attach your YouTube or YouTube videos to go to it or whatever it is, resources.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Members.
There's the members.
Some of them, yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. I think I covered all of them so far, at least. But anyway, just go check it out. I won't spend a lot of time on this, but anyway, where am I?
It's pretty cool.
Right there, remove. There we go. So anyway, don't forget July the 11th is a big day, and I would really love to see as many as we can. And we get to celebrate everything that we love, because at the end of the day, freedom's absolute, and not that it is absolute; it has to be absolute. In order for us to live the life we want to live, and people can live the life according to their own terms and do what makes them happy. Again, of course, as long as you're not removing the rights of somebody else. We get to go celebrate all that. It's the 250th birthday of America. And, and you guys know this who watch my live, I am very hard on our government. I'm hard on Trump. I'm hard on the libs. I'm hard on all of them. And, but at the end of the day, I love this because I love my country. I was a soldier and I'm still on our watch, and that matters, And so, I think standing up for what you believe in is your duty being an American, right? We have to do that. So never mistake me being hard on whoever it is from a politician for not loving my country, because I ain't going anywhere. This is my country, and I fought for it when, once, and here we are. So I'm excited to celebrate America's 250th birthday. Pretty cool. 250 years, and a lot of them have been really, really good years. So anyway, let's see here. There you go, Jen. Thank you very much. Dana Green says, okay, thank you. Okay, pulled it up, and we'll go into it when the live is over. Cool. Terminator says she'll try it. Yep. It's pretty easy, Terminator. Once you get it figured out, you'll be right through there. That's a fantastic made website. Thank you. It's something we've been working on for a while, but you guys know it takes time. It's not, if I could just sit down and just do it, it'd be a lot quicker. But there's I have to be a husband, which is super important. And, I have to be a father, which is super important. And I'm part of a community, which is super important. Oh yeah, I have a homestead and animals. That's super important. I have lots of tasks to do every day, which is super important. Oh yeah, I'm still working.
Yeah.
That's super important.
Yeah, just can't stop that.
Yeah, so just getting to all of it. So I know it took longer than a lot of us wanted, but the good news is it's back up and running, and we would take any feedback, and we'll continue to grow it. And one other thing I want to say about this that I think is really important is that building Freestanding in the beginning was really about how do we help people yoke up, right? Because we recognized just like super early that the need to get out of the system mattered. And how do we create an environment where people can have these conversations, and we can talk about parallel economies, and we can do these things that aren't so toned down like Facebook and a lot of that stuff. I know I have a lot of good friends who get a lot of their stuff pulled from these social media platforms. How do we create this so we can continue on? And then it got to be where we just couldn't control it anymore. But that was a part of the evolution. And, the website we just put back up, again, part of the evolution. I can't guarantee you that there won't be another someday. Again, it's part of the evolution. When I started this journey, I was a prepper, and, I started by putting up a little food, and, you had a closet full of food, and that was great, right? You're like, man, I got some food, and if something happens, I can really take care of myself. But you learn pretty quick that those supplies only last so long.
And they go bad.
And they go bad, and you got all these other things. And so I came up with the bright idea. I'm going to get into homesteading, right? Because homesteading, we're going to grow food. We can grow our own food. We can store our food on the hoof.
My wife can grow our food.
That's right, and we can store our energy in a tree. We can do those kinds of things. But then you get to a point where you wake up and you realize that your farm is so dependent on the outside system, because where do you buy your chicken feed?
Yeah.
And where do you buy your hinges for your gates, and where do you buy your tin for your roof, and where do you times a million, right? And so you get down this road that you start thinking to yourself, how do I get out of the system? How do I get less dependent? And at the end of the day, that's really what freestanding is all about. All prepping leads to homesteading, and all homesteading should eventually lead to freestanding. So we're going to take another swing at it, and I would love, love, love to have your guys' support. Dana Grin says, okay, I hope I did it right. Nito says, connecting with people in my area is what I was hoping for on the freestanding site. So Nitos, I don't know if we already have a Nevada page. Excuse me, there are state pages in there. If there isn't, just let me know. Request it right on the site. Whatever it is, they'll build it right away. And we'll go back to trying to build that back up. It was pretty cool. There was a time, when the old site was
awesome.
Up. Yeah, there was states that had 1,000 people in them talking back and forth on freestanding, But again, it was unsustainable. And unless we were willing to donate a full-time, 8 hours a day to it every day, and I just can't do that. I'll never get anything done here, And then what good did I do in the end, But anyway, I'm excited about it, and we'll just have to see what happens. Backrat says, hello from Tennessee, y'all. That discussion by states group is activated, as is Florida, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Request your state now. Thank you, Backrat.
Nice.
Yeah, Backrat and the Instigator were, I think, the first two to join last week when we were still just kind of testing a little bit. And
That's awesome.
And I'm going to do a big media push. But before I do a big media push, I'd like to know, let me get rid of that.
If there's any issues or.
Yeah, well, or do we need to change something? Do we not get it right? Guys, I'm a human being. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, and I did not get it all right.
Well, your main job is not developing.
Yes. And I think, thank goodness, my partner in all of this crazy stuff, Bug Out, who is in here sometimes, I can't tell you how thankful I am to have him,
Mm-hmm.
But because, man, there's just no way I could do it alone. And he's a big inspiration to it, and, has a big voice and very thorough. And plus he's an off-grid homesteader too. He's a smart guy. He's an off-grid homesteader too. So anyway, we're going to make a big run at it. And you know what I'd like to do at some point, because you can do live chats and live video calls, is to transition a lot of the stuff that I do on like Facebook and a lot of the things, which is completely obscure, and just transition into them. So I'm going to try to put a post out there every day or two.
So are you trying to say that is a more secure place?
Much more secure. Much more secure. Now, ultimately, if with the right, push and the right warrants, don't put anything on there that you wouldn't, tell your minister. But what I'm telling you is the threat or what happens to your data, your contact information, we control all of that, and you guys absolutely have my word that there's zero chance I'm going to sell it, do anything with it. Zero chance. So I wouldn't want it done to me. So anyway, yes. Mm-hmm. So it's safer, and hopefully we can go back to what we were doing. So, look at that. Cool. Nito said there was a Nevada page. They were all in southern Nevada, about 6.5 hours from me. Yeah, she's talking about the old one. Gypsy said registered. Scanes Girl said made it over. Cool.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so should we get to the good news for the night, since we're an hour and 13 minutes in?
Yes.
You ready for some good news?
Yeah.
You guys ready for some good news?
I haven't heard any good news all week. So
okay, well,
this is it.
It's about to change.
This is my news.
So the U.S. Department of Energy just mapped out every data center in America, and this is what AI power grid looks like. The dots are the data centers. So the yellow dots that you see on this page are operating, right? The orange dots you see are under construction, and the whites are planned. The lines are high voltage transmission lines, right? 735 kilovolts, 500 kilovolts, and 345 kilovolts. The arteries that move electrons from generators to computer loads. Look at the density along the East Coast, Northern Virginia, and the Carolinas. Then look at Texas and Northern California. The largest cities on the map represent facilities demanding over 5,000 megawatts of power. And if you guys look at it, the number of data center worldwide as of 2026, France has 321, China 381, Germany 487, UK has 499. How many's America got, baby?
A lot more. 4,165.
Yeah.
That's
anybody out there that
ridiculous.
thinks that they're building data centers to house Facebook pictures, you need really to start reading, because it is not the case at all. Pete says going to have to go there and check it out. Thank you very much. Redneck says saving the best good news for last. Oh yeah, no, Redneck blew right by it. Hey, real quick, before I do this, we're going to get back to that. But real quick, Pat Miletich. So we had a really cool thing happen, and kind of didn't really plan it, but Pat has agreed to teach an MMA class Saturday morning at our event. So our event runs from 2 o'clock to 11 p.m. At 8 o'clock in the morning in a local gym right here in the town that I live in. Pat is going to teach an MMA class, do a little seminar to the benefit of the local gym here in town. The tickets are $50 a piece. They call it a self-defense class. Okay, Redneck. Yeah, correct me on all of my wrong wording. But so he's going to teach one again to the benefit of the local gym. Tickets are $50 a person. And if someone wants to go to the class, they can.
Is it kids, adults?
Yeah,
both?
age 10 and up.
Okay.
So kids age 10 and up. But this is the chance to go and train with a 4-time UFC world champion, UFC Hall of Famer, and known as one of the greatest coaches in UFC history. A guy who is known as a visionary and a pioneer to what UFC is today. Just happened to be like-minded. Yeah. Happened to be my buddy. Happened to be turned to soil savior. And again, he'll talk about soil at our actual event. But in the morning, there will be them. So if you guys are interested in getting tickets, you can contact me direct. One of the mods put my email address in there. Unless, Redneck, you want to put an email address in there, you can as well. The other thing we could do is I have a July 11th event up on Freestanding. You can go to that event if you'd like, and you can request information there too. We'll have a flyer out by, I think, next week. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, this is so funny. Hey, RN, good night to you.
That's awesome.
Says you are going to participate in the self-defense class. Now, you know that getting away from the event that's happening that day at my farm is going to be a nightmare. You know that, right? There's a million things to do all over the place.
Last minute things.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out. But anyway, chance to train with Pat Miletich before we actually do the event. Everybody's welcome to do it. I would encourage you to do it. Mm-hmm. And the proceeds, so you guys know, go again to the local gym. And the people who own the gym are part of our community. And so it gets to benefit them. Also, the proceeds go to help Pat further his soil saver mission. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to like-minded people who are trying to do it the right way and trying to live off grid and trying to break out of the system and trying to do all of those things. And so I think it's a good gig, and I'm excited about it, and more to come on the next. Hopefully by the time we get to the next Friday's live, we'll have all the information laid out, and we'll have a flyer in class in hand that I'll share with you guys. Skanes Girl says, lay it on me, brother.
She's going.
Yep. So I would love to see everybody go. I'd love to see the community go.
She's a trooper. And, she goes to she goes to everything.
Yeah, she's a badass. So anyway, Redneck, did I do better? There you go. There's my email address right there. If someone wants more information, you can contact me there. You can go to the Freestanding site. You can get on there. I will also post it on Facebook once I get all the information out. So that is going to be a full day. Starts at 8 o'clock with self-defense training with 4-time UFC heavy world champion Pat Miletich. Then we go to Soil Savior conversation with Pat Miletich on the farm fresh food. We're going to eat and eat and eat. We're going to play lots of games. We're going to let the kids play and run all over the place, swim and apple bob and all of those things. We're going to finish the night off with a world-class fireworks show to celebrate the 250th birthday of America.
What amazing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, lineup.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Jen put it up twice because she wanted me to put it up twice.
Yeah, because she was like, here it is, guys.
Yep.
Maybe she put it wrong the first time.
Yep. Oh. Okay, now I know we can count Mario to go to that class, right, Jen? Right? Maybe you.
Yeah, she didn't put that.
Tag said, "Where did you find that map?" The U.S. Department of Energy. They released this earlier. It's actually all over the internet. Lots of people are talking about it. All right, moving on. Redneck, do I have your thumbs up? Did I do okay, even though I totally spaced it when I were talking about Pat Miletich?
I'm glad he's caught that.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. Yeah, Mario says, America. Anyway, there's a lot of interesting things that are coming out of this data center debate, and we're absolutely,
they're everywhere.
Well, we're absolutely funding our own surveillance state, but there's so much more to this. What it's also doing is it's forcing people into the fight.
Yeah.
We've said for years and years, and actually this is a Grumpy Acres quote, we've said for a long, long time that the day that it gets hard enough for the soccer moms and the NASCAR dads is when real change comes.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what it's doing. There are places all over the country where people are standing up, where they're putting 1,000 people in a town hall that's never seen 200.
Yeah.
Right. And you're putting, and what's more importantly than that is not only are you putting people in there, you're putting Democrats and Republicans and independents and libertarians.
Good.
Nito said, I searched DOE and did not come back with anything. I'll send it to you because I found it earlier. Let's see here. Jen says he will be there placing bets on how many of the guys the Garden Warriors knock to the mat. Yeah. Mario's bat can't go, but Mario can. Anyway, it's bringing all these people together that normally, wouldn't be together. And it's crazy to me. There was a town in Missouri where the town came in and they voted, we don't want this, we don't want this. Everyone stood up, mm-hmm. and, fought, and the city council approved it anyway.
It did anyway.
And right after that, there was an election, and that city voted against all of them, and the entire city council was replaced. So there's some positive that's being spun from this. And, we always joke about good news, but the truth is there is some good news that comes from these things.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think these things really do is it builds community. Why? Well, because you put all of these people in a room and you start conversations that they both agree on regardless of their political front.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're starting to see these communities stand together. And I'm going to tell you guys, the only way out of what we're in is community. There is no other way. You're not going to vote your way out of it. You're not going to spend your way out of it. Only way we're going to do it is with community. And I'm not talking about a homesteading community, guys. I'm talking about the people that packed Pottawatomie County Planning Commission or the 1,000 people that packed the Jefferson County Commission. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Your neighbors.
Right. This is the magic, that will ultimately solve many, many of our problems. Is community.
Is you is or is you ain't, my constituent.
Is you is or is you ain't. Let's see here. Mark says, I am so far out of the loop. Is freestanding still running? Freestanding is up and running. Yes. Did someone say midget mud wrestling in? Where some midgets? There you go. Jen says freestanding.com right there. Tag, do you guys fill out census in the United States? Census are definitely sent to us here in the United States.
You're supposed to.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Got it. So anyway, I'm actually kind of excited about some of these turn of events, and it sucks we have to go through this to get there. But Gratitude to Grace says, what I'm hearing is that data center companies are strategically applying for permits where there are no regulations. If permits are denied by the commission, the town gets sued. This is 100% factual. Okay, this is happening all over the place. I think I actually have a slide in here. Yeah, right there. Small towns now have to fight billion-dollar corporations just to control their own land. A $16 billion OpenAI and Oracle data center is being forced into Saline Township, Michigan, population under 3,000. The town voted 4-1 to reject it. 2 days later, the developer sued them. They couldn't afford the fight, so they had to settle. Which means the settle was, right, go ahead, here's your regulations. Utah physics professor just compared the proposal of Utah Stratus AI data center to the explosion of 23 atomic bombs a day. The numbers check out. Stratus campus, 16 to 17 gigawatt thermal load, 1,468 TJ day released. I don't know what that is. Hiroshima had 63. That's 23.3 bombs of a day when it coming to heat. Just talking about the heat that's produced. A day. That's coming out of them. So cow farts in your car are bad, but toxic boiling cauldrons designed by mad scientists to run AI to make humanity obsolete are good. Yeah, this is what's crazy again, but I think there's again some positive going to come out of this, and I've often said, what's it going to take for people to stand up?
Mm-hmm.
right? What is it going to take? It's interesting that those same climate folks who called CO2 a planetary emergency are now quiet while AI data centers are exploding in electricity use. US ones already at around 4% of total power, heading towards 8% to 12% by 2030, mostly from fossil fuels. A single hyperscale center can suck as much juice as a whole city. Water is even worse locally. One big facility can evaporate millions of gallons a day of cooling, rivaling a small town's usage. It's real consumption, and it's ramping fast with AI. The scam part was always the selective panic. This shows what actually moves the needle on energy and resources. I think people are, I've often wondered when these things come out, things like, does it really hurt the water? What's the real story to it, right? Behind the scenes, and there are stories coming out every day. Whisper Creek says the Daily Wire put out a weekend wire last week that was totally running PR for data centers. Yeah, right here in Craig Bowser sending out all this re-election stuff to re-elect him, and he says data centers are great for small towns. No, that data center will control that small town, right? Won't affect wildlife, the environment, let alone human life. That's exactly right. At least that's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
Right. Fox News, Greg Gutfeld just dropped this epic takedown of the climate hysterics after the UN's climate change panel walked back its doomsday models. I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but the UN is saying some of their data was bad, and so their doomsday model on climate change might not be right. Of course, right, as we've changed how the entire planet runs because of climate change, right?
Right.
After decades of screaming that planet is 6 minutes from extinction, the UN just rescinded its doomsday prediction. It turns out the model they used for 10 years to predict massive sea level rises, global crop failures, and rapid melting of glaciers was about as authentic as Omar's marriage. The 99% of scientists who once claimed the debate was over changed their minds. Every apocalypse has a business model they use for fear to grab your cash, your gas stove, your truck, and your burger.
Yep.
100%. Mark says, I have 2 questions. Let me have them. Okay.
Oh.
I have 2 questions. One, why do we need all these data centers, and are our tax dollars paying for them? Yes and yes. So here's the deal. People ask this question all the time. What are they using it for? And, there have been town halls even right here around me where they ask the data center developers, who's your client? They won't tell you.
Do we need the data centers? You said yes and yes.
No, it says, why do we need the data centers? He said.
Oh, why?
So at the end of the day, I don't know this number to be 100% true, but from what I've read, about 40% of the data centers' average use will be military industrial complex, right? So it'll be going to fund the military or to supply the military with data on some level. But remember back at the beginning of our slide deck, we have 4,000 data centers compared to 300 of everybody else, right? So if you look at all the push that's gone on over the last several years, from CBDCs to social credit scores to digital IDs to all of this, I'm 100% convinced that these data centers are for nothing more than the new surveillance state. And again, we've talked about it this live last couple times, and we need to stop referring to them as data centers and start referring to them as surveillance centers, because that's exactly what they are.
The surveillance us?
Everybody. I mean, the flock cameras, right? I mean, all of the things that go on, right? If you're going to move to a completely digital society, right? Central bank digital currency, digital ID, social credit scores.
Why do they want to know? Why do they want to track so much of you?
Because that's how they control you. That's how they keep power.
By feeding you stuff and
by knowing what you spend your money, by knowing who you spend your money with, by knowing where you travel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the ultimate form of control. So the 2 questions, why do we need them, data center? We don't need them. They need them for control, and they're grasping for the last straws as they're losing control. And on our taxes paying for them, many of them, yes. Now, there's private funds that get gone into there, but then those private funds get tax breaks and blah, 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 right? So yes, we are basically funding our own demise. It's a matter of national security, according to the mouthpieces. Yeah, and I think, again, from what I've read, Jen, it's about 40% of the military-industrial complex. But the question is, how much of that 40 is also for the surveillance state? Right? I mean, it's funny. It's like we talk about our defense budget is, $1.3 trillion, 5 times bigger than any other country out there. But what they don't tell you is it's far greater than that. Because inside all of those spending bills, you have the national defense budget, but then you also have the CIA budget. Then you also have this budget, this budget, this budget. And what it all adds up to is the vast majority of the extraction that comes to us people is done for the betterment of power, right? Sharpshooter said the Stratos project is 40,000 acres in Utah. We use 9 gigawatts of power, more than the state of Utah itself. My other question is, what data? Where do they get data from? Sorry, I kind of don't know about data. No, this is easy. They're going to get data from flock cameras, right? The cameras that are alongside of the road, they're on every stoplight. They're going to track where everybody's going all the time. They're going to house it in one place, right? They're going to get it from central bank digital currency. So when you go and spend money anywhere, when you file your taxes anywhere, that's going to get all lumped in there. So they're going to take your medical records. They're going to tie them into the same place. They're going to take your social media. They're going to tie it into the same place. Planeteer. If you guys don't know a company called Planeteer, you need to look them up. Owned by a guy named Peter Thiel. And earlier this year, Trump hired them to build the database that brings all of these things together. So in our very near future, when you get pulled over by a police officer, they'll scan your driver's license and it will give them everything. They'll have access to medical records. They'll have access to social media profiles, to all of that stuff, all your bank accounts, all of it will be centralized in one location, which makes it completely simple.
Wouldn't they be like, so if I'm eating McDonald's and buying Pepsi and those kind of things, then they can see that I'm buying these things and probably eating them, and they're advertising these things too, because if I say something, all of a sudden my phone starts showing me them. So then
your phone's recording you 100% of the time.
Then your insurance can go up because you're eating McDonald's
100%.
and Pepsi.
100%. So what will happen is the big insurance lobby will purchase or lobby for those results. Who's eating what?
Right.
And then they'll be able to use them to charge higher premiums.
Or when you're driving, higher premiums.
100%. Yep. Total control. And if they don't like you, if they don't like your political narrative, they don't like what you stand for, you'll get flagged. No different than the YouTube channel. You know, my YouTube channel has been hammered so many times.
Yeah.
Right? It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see here. They have to be able to control all the aspects of our lives to keep power. That's right. And they know that power's crumbling. They know it. And you study any civilization in the history of the world, and what you'll see is that in the end, at the end of days, the laws became more and more and more absurd. Ridiculous. How many times did you hear me say that, right? And so you'll see them reach further and further and further and further and further, right? And then what's the next scary thing that will make us all obedient?
To do what they want us to do.
Right. And they always have to step it up. Right.
Stay inside. Don't go outside. Don't garden. Don't get in the yard.
Lord, I will finish move to Tambra's. AB, I don't know, time to live underground, says Mark. Peter Thiel, backed JD Vance to get elected as VP. Well, yeah, JD Vance has CIA backing. You didn't know that? Background. When they will apply social credit score. Do you drink? Do you buy too much of this and for that? Right. Do you criticize your local government? Do you say, hey, the data center's poisoning our water? You say, hey, I don't like that law. It violates my amendment. It violates my constitutional rights. Hey, I don't like this. Well, they'll just dock it. The lower your credit score goes, just like today. So think about it as a credit score. If you go try to buy a new car today and you have a 500 credit score, what's your interest rate? Versus if you go to try to buy a car today and you have an 800 credit score, what's your interest rate? Vastly different, right? And it works exactly the same way. Don't forget geolocating you via the tracking device you carry everywhere. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Funding the beast, basically. Yes, we are absolutely 100% funding the beast. Are government officials going to be also surveilled, or are they exempt? Well, of course they'll be exempt. Right? It's not a secret that government officials walk around with their microphones taped shut and their cameras taped shut on their devices, right? They know. Yeah, don't be a deviant. Let's see here, but it'll be for your safety. It will be for your safety, for the greater good, right? The laws must become more absurd to make the next laws seem normal. Hey, Mark Baldwin, welcome in. And it will all be built on the back of digital ID. Laugh out loud. I failed the test back in 2020. Double down on being independent from the system. Still have a way to go, but closer every day. Amen. And that's really what we should be pushing ourselves to do.
Yeah.
Is how do we break it more and more and more and more? Right? Just a little, it's baby steps. It's baby steps. I'm still completely tied to the system. Yeah, I don't have an electric bill. I don't have a water bill. I don't have a sewer bill, but I'm still buying animal feed. Right? If I get a flat tire, I got to have a tire. Yeah. Right? I mean, I still have many of things that ties me to it. Okay, so let's put cameras in the White House with a website where you can watch 24 hours a day. I would argue let's put cameras in schools. Let's put cameras in the courthouse. Let's do all of that, but that's not how it works. Does anybody find it funny that they call us private citizens and them public servants, and yet we're the one that's surveilled? It's newspeak. It's 1984. You should go read the book. Yeah.
It's backwards.
It's completely backwards. Completely backwards. The digital control grid is being built right now. Massive new data centers aren't just powering AI like Gronk. They're the foundation of the total surveillance infrastructure, which is what we were talking about. Track and trace is moving under the skin. Bill Gates style microneedle patches, advanced wearables, and implantable devices are being designed to connect directly from the internet through 6G. And there are plenty of reports out there, plenty of studies out there, plenty of people saying that they already do it. That in your phone, they're already connecting to your brain. Yep. And reading your thoughts. And, I try to play with it all the time. Yeah. Right. Imagine if they control your thoughts. You think elections?
They're controlling your thoughts.
You think elections are fair if they can do that?
Oh,
right? No way. Data centers in Wisconsin have now completely destroyed their water system. And you might think this is conspiracy theory. Then if it is, then why did Amazon agree to a $20.5 million settlement to settle allegations that its data center in Morrow County, Oregon, contributed to contaminating groundwater with nitrate pollution in the agricultural community? Why did they settle? Right? $20.5 million, you can hire a lot of attorneys. Let's see, where am I at here? Jen says, how many times have you had a conversation about an item and the ads for that item show up every day? Every single day. Yeah. Mark says, I have another question. Is there any way to counteract any of this? Yes. This is what we've been talking about, Starla and Mark, forever. Go build community, build dependency in other places. Right? If you have to use digital currency to buy everything, you're going to be hosed. Right? Grow your own food. You don't have to buy food now, right? I mean, so just work really hard on breaking all of those chains. Get off the grid, find an alternative ways of power, even if it's just little, even if it's just running lights. You'll be so thankful.
Power your phone.
Right. Right. I mean, it's just these little itty bitty things. So think about, open your checkbook, read through the checks you write every month. And most of those checks that you write, those are the people you ask permission from. The electric company, the water company, the sewer company, the mortgage, the credit card companies, the car payments, right? Those are the ones, your taxes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Those are the ones you're asking permission from. So work on that. Let's see here. Jennifer Combs, a resident in Trinidad, Texas, was actively arrested and jailed this week simply for making a Facebook post exposing the city's brown, contaminated tap water. The city officials panicked over the bad publicity, hid behind a garbage law, and used the local police department to lock her up under the guise of preventing public alarm. Let's be entirely real. This isn't law enforcement. This is tyrannical retaliation. Since when does a local bureaucrat get the right to suspend the First Amendment because their infrastructure is failing? If the citizens can't openly criticize the basic hide in plain sight truth of what's coming out of their own common faucets, without getting a mugshot, the system is completely broken. She is officially suing the citizen for violating her civil rights. Is this Texas or North Korea? That's the picture of the lady, and that's the picture of the tap water.
Yeah, wow.
Right? So you guys think that, hey, this stuff only happens over in Europe. No, it doesn't just only happen over in Europe. In fact, it's becoming more and more common here every day. And this gets into the social credit score stuff we've been talking about. Interesting ally on this whole dirty water from the AI center has been AOC, which I applaud, by the way. Absolutely applaud her for taking a stance on this. AOC holds up a jar of untreated runoff water. She says this is what drinking water in Morgan County, Georgia looks like now thanks to the data center. Look at the water.
Yikes.
Right? And again, it's not just data centers and stuff. There's all kinds of things they're getting people for, right? In Chicago, just this week, Chicago PD is issuing a man a ticket for what he said outside of an abortion clinic. Not because he was belligerent, he didn't touch anybody, but because they didn't like his words. That sounds like a violation of the Constitution to me. Let's see here. Mark Starla says, I'm peed off now. They have no right to know everything about us. We got to do something about it because they're going to keep taking until enough pushback comes. God, there's so much I'd love to say about that. The public sector forgot who they were supposed to serve and now serve themselves, the bank, and the corporations, right? The public servants, right, should be called the system servants, right? They are the system servants and we are public citizens.
Yeah.
Right? Not private. And we need to start changing our language and using these words, just like surveillance center. Right? When I talk to my county commissioners, I will do everything I can to never again refer to it as a data center. I will only talk of it as a service center.
Surveillance.
Yep.
Service center.
Right. Well, you can do this a lot, just in like what we were talking about right now. Right? Instead of public servants, call them system servants. You're a system servant. Right?
Call it like it is.
They come after my first every day. That's why I use it that much more. If they push, we got to push back. Is there any way to go off grid and they have no idea where the hell you are? No. The problem is that the way that everything is controlled today, you cannot, Marcus Starla, there is no way to disappear completely. The only hope that we have is that we can go Galt in some kind of modern form, and that we can build community, become dependent on each other. The more, again, I don't think it's possible to get 100% out of the system, but the question is, can we get 90? Can we bounce in and out of the system at what we need and be able to get away from it? And again, this will take people. This is going to take people you trust. So sitting on the couch going, why is there no community around me? Ain't going to do anything for you. You're going to have to go figure it out.
Get uncomfortable.
Yep. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. And the more we do it, it's interesting. There's a lot of things that goes on right here in my community. I'm not even talking about my homesteading community. I'm talking about the geographical community. If I can help somewhere, I will. Even when I talk to the commissioners, even there's a lot of things they do I don't particularly like, I try to be cordial. I try to be respectful. I try to do these things because I'm smart enough to know that someday community might be all we have. Now I don't know how possible this is in San Francisco.
Right. Because it's huge.
Right. Because it's huge. But
you can still know quite a few people around you.
You can, but can you actually influence anything? I don't know. I don't live in a city, so I can't. I
think you can touch people's lives in many ways.
Yeah, Mark says exactly. Don't use their soft language. No, we need to change the language, and we need to work really hard on changing it. Mark says, so I want to ask one more question. How many believe that the jab had other stuff in it? I don't even think that's debatable anymore, Darla. There's report after report after report after report. But the thing is they're going to keep taking our attention away from those things, just like the Epstein files.
Oh,
right. Yeah. Just like
what's happening. Let's throw something at them.
Just like our, $31 trillion and $39 trillion in national debt. They don't, or the Ukraine, or what's going on in Iran. These are all distractions to keep us off the fact that the system's collapsing. And they're going to hold on with everything they've got for as long as they can hold on to the very end, and you ain't going to know anything about it, right? Till right at the very end. And because that's how they roll, right? Because it's for the greater good. You wouldn't want a bunch of people panicking, right? Just like the train derailments in farming areas containing surface water. Correct. Exactly right. And it's the next catastrophe. It's the next thing to be scared of. Get your attention off of it. I promise you, something's coming to take your attention off the data center. Something, I don't know what it is. Got some ideas, but something is.
Aliens.
Yeah. Why are the data centers so big? 18 million square feet for what? Yeah. And Starla and Mark, this is kind of getting to your point. Why do they require so much electric power? What kind of equipment is going inside them? Something is very wrong. See, I agree with this. Why does the United States need over 4,000 of them when countries like China have 300? We should be asking these questions. I found this next post interesting, but listen, I am not condoning this. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. You're destroying private property. I don't support it in any way, but I do find it interesting that people are beginning to post things like this. Jason Bassler said, definitely do not point 1,000 nm wavelength green laser at a flock camera. It totally won't damage the sensor and render the camera ineffective. So please don't do this. Mm-hmm. You know, that's code. What they're saying is, right? I'm not going to repeat it because I'll get kicked off, but these kind of posts are becoming more and more common. And just like in the data centers, how these data centers and this big bash, like people are beginning to stand up. You're going to see this on a lot of fronts, guys. The Great Awakening is here, and we should be excited about this. More and more people are waking up. And whether it's the flock cameras, whether it's central bank digital currency, whether it's data centers, whether it's whatever it is, people are waking up every day, even to Starla, what you were talking about with COVID, every single day. Yeah, Jen says, sounds like we need a Battle of Athens, Tennessee on a nationwide scale. We learn about that in government class. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that, and you know why I'm not going to comment on that. But if anybody doesn't know what the Battle of Athens, Tennessee is, you should go look it up. Tag, if we don't fill out the census here, we'll get a $500 fine. Yeah, I wonder, God, there's so much I'd like to say. Yeah, that sucks. I'll leave it at that. Let's see, it's time to realize that we are at a major turning point. They are systematically destroying our oil refineries, right, guys? They've been blowing up all over. We've been seeing it, right? Our food sources. Does anybody think that we're buying healthy food, right, that's out there? Our water, does anybody think our water is nice and clean and pure? Right? I mean, I read an article today, I didn't put it in the live, where cardiologists said stop drinking bottled water out of plastic containers. It's creating problems, right? Our air is dirty, and our communities are separated, right? They separate us by this political class of Republican and Democrat, men against women, black against white, right? And they keep us all separated and distracted and hating each other so that we'll take our attention off exactly what they're doing to us. Right? They're destroying our communities by building massive digital prisons for us all. And what's funny is we're funding it. If people don't stand up and fight now, it will be too late, and there'll be nothing left to fight for. Make no mistake, there are no coincidences with all these data centers being pushed in Kansas and across the state. This is technocratic social control. I could not agree more. Mark said, please don't use a Sawzall. That would be wrong. Yes, Mark, great point. Do not use a Sawzall. That would be wrong. I don't condone it in any way. Do not destroy private property or public property. It's all bad in every single sense of the way. Am I clear on that?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Crystal clear, buddy.
Moving on to, you guys hear about the Ebolas in the news. You know, the hantavirus was last week. This week we get Africa CDC chief says he is in panic mode over the Ebola outbreak. His warning, people are dying. I don't have medicines. I don't have vaccines. Important word. I don't have vaccines to support countries. He says candidate vaccines and treatments exist, but hope support arrives within weeks. The World Health Organization knew the hantavirus was too weak to cause a global pandemic, and since only Canada and Australia would have been retarded enough to play those COVID-era lockdown games, they moved on to Ebola and declared it a global health emergency. The World Health Organization is a terrorist organization, according to governments corrupt. CDC issues Ebola travel notice as outbreak spreads near Congo-Uganda border. The CDC has now issued a level 1 health notice while officials monitor the Ebola case. Linked to Eastern Congo, deaths are already being recorded. Right before the Ebola outbreak, NIH virologist Vincent Munster was busted at a U.S. airport smuggling deadly pathogens back from Congo. Munster runs Ebola field sites in the Congo and frequently conducts gain-of-function experiments. He's now under FBI investigation. Nicholas Hunter also said that the new Ebola outbreak will not become a pandemic. There have been 40 Ebola outbreaks in Africa since 1970. Not a single one has ever become a pandemic. Why? Transmission requires direct physical contact with infected bodily fluids. So he's saying, don't worry about it. You know, I don't typically worry about it, but the one thing that I don't like is gain-of-function research and taking it from where it spreads by infected bodily fluid to aerosol.
Right. To something else.
Right. Those kind of things. Right.
Well, changing any part of it to make it more.
Right. Those are the things that worry me. America is becoming so unaffordable. CBS is launching a new series called Affordability in America. Think about that. So the
CBS.
CBS, right? the Clinton Broadcast Network or whatever, you know.
Is that what it stands for?
No, that's what they called it. But anyway, are releasing a series called Affordability in America. And obviously this is geared against MAGA. It's Trump's fault, right? I'm sure. I haven't seen it, but the stats they put in there are still interesting nonetheless. Americans are seeing price increases an additional $50 to $100 for the same cart of groceries in just 1 month. Mm-hmm. This is true. I can verify. 67% of Americans are stressed out about financials. 39% increases in tomatoes from last year. Thank you for planting 200 tomato plants. 39% increase. Oh, I did that one. Ground beef is over $10 a pound in many grocery stores. $10 a pound. It was just a couple years ago. We were getting it for $1.99.
Yeah, or just 99 cents on special.
On special, right. Fish and seafood's up 6%. Nothing has felt affordable since Biden took office. It's not just groceries. Full coverage car insurance has risen 43% nationally since 2021. Coffee's up 20%. Fruits and vegetables 6%. Rents have increased as much as 40% in some areas. Americans are being priced out of their own home because you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. The good news is a Chinese university said that they found a way where you can wash your fruits and your fish and your stuff with this chemical, and it will wash all the pesticides off of it, rendering it safe. Is that a good idea?
No, it's probably another chemical to do it.
Right, but even if it was safe, let's say it was a perfect wash and it wouldn't hurt you at all. Is that a good thing?
I don't know.
Because I think Pat Miletich, I quoted him perfectly. He goes, "Where do you think the pesticides go when you wash them down the sink, genius? Besides, we know pesticides are absorbed into the fruits and vegetables." What he's saying is, so what? You wash it off, now you put it in our water system. Right? Modern apples. Oh, let me get some comments here real quick. Nito said, how many years are they going to use the same area in Ebola outbreak? Yeah, who knows? Terminator says, I don't know. I don't buy food. Yeah, and Mark says, into the water. Right, dummies. Modern apples have significantly less vitamin C than apples of 50 years ago. You've been told to eat one a day, and they've been bred for one thing: more sugar content. A modern apple is now the size of a grapesuit. The vitamin C is mostly gone. The food has been told is healthy, was reconstructed and genetically modified to sell, never to make it healthier. Berkeley, California has implemented new going green rules for homeowners. Now, I'm going to speed up because we're going to be out of this live quick. So basically, Berkeley, California has said, before you can sell your house, you have to make it green. So now it's not your house, right? Through taxes, they own your property. You're just renting it from the government. You can't even sell it and get your capital gains from selling your home until you meet those standards. Insane. Jen says that's no different than all of the meds that show up in the drinking water supply. Yep. Which is why I don't depend on anybody for my water. Apple pectin pulls metals from the blood. Oh, interesting. So if you could get, that's interesting. Again, one of the largest raw dairy farms in America was told by the FDA they should lie to their customers, that they should tell them that the milk was not, what do they call that? Let me look for it in here. What do they call it when they boil the milk?
Homogenized.
Yeah, to tell them that go ahead and do it and just tell their customers it's raw milk and sell it to them. Got busted. A family went to a gas station to get fuel. And this was great because we've caught Walmart doing this. We've caught a lot of grocery stores doing this. So they filled up a container, if you can see right there, with 1 liter of fuel.
Yeah.
And look at the register. It's registering 1.11 liters. So not only are they getting their profits of record fuel prices, you're actually getting less quantity.
Right. How would you know if you're filling up a tank of
unless you go test it. Go test it.
Each gallon.
Yeah, test it. Pectin also protects your thyroid. Gratitude to Grace says that's a very interesting. Yes, that is very interesting. If you had it, get checked for metals in your body, get your arteries and veins checked, be proactive. Last time I mentioned it. Most people don't even know what a BRICS level is, which indicates plant health and nutrition potential. Try to get through some of these. Bill Gates' lab-made butter is on its way to a store near you. Congratulations. Give everybody a round of applause. You're going to be able to eat lab-made butter by 2027. You guys should be buying stock in that company. It's going to go big.
Isn't that what margarine was?
No, but this tastes like butter. That's what they say.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah. And for another win, for us health conscious people. Bill Gates funded a peel was just approved for organic produce in the U.S.
Peel.
So now the Bill Gates spray that they put on them is organic, which means they probably won't have to label it. 60% of popular candies laced with dangerous levels of arsenic, right? Florida's Department of Health tested 46 popular candies. 28 showed elevated arsenic linked to increased cancer risk. Safe yearly limits for a child based on detected arsenic. So what do they recommend? How much of these candies can your child eat annually and still be safe? Nerds, 96 pieces. Sweet Tarts, 48 pieces. Sour Patch Kids, 36 pieces. Skittles, 48 pieces. That's half of one pack.
Yeah.
Right?
Nerds, 96 pieces. Those little nuggets are tiny.
Tiny. Jolly Ranchers, 6 pieces. Twizzlers, 4 pieces. If you eat more than 4 Twizzlers a year, your child's getting unsafe levels of arsenic. Snickers, 2.5 candy bars.
Yeah.
Kit Kat, 2.5 candy bars. One box of Nerds contains 2,000 to 8,000 pieces. And annually you're allowed 96. Don't that make you excited?
Of arsenic.
Yep. The children around Chernobyl were given large quantities of pectin. They were. Yep. Health is wealth, says David. 0, it's garbage. Yep. Shalom today, welcome in, says if you're looking for progress in raising livestock, Luke Dordery sells Farmstead Butcher Traders. Oh, cool. Yep, I know who that is. Yeah, Nito said that's per year. Yeah. Shalom today also said, and it's easier to get a large dehumidifier hooked up to a 2-stage portable water filter for producing your own water. Yes. Yeah. Oh, look at that. JCK Citizen Broadcasters in the house says, I am so glad I grew up when I did.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like artificial sweeteners people are consuming daily really does the number on the brain. Yep. And Mark says, happy Halloween.
Right. Binge eating
Toxin Mars Candy Corp products. No doubt. No doubt. Insane. Let's see here. I'm going to skip that one. We're running out of time. So I'm going to try to get to a couple of these. Oh, this was really important because I know you guys are sympathetic. And I know you're compassionate people. I know this about all of you. House Speaker Mike Johnson says that Congress members' $174,000 salary isn't enough. He argues that they should be allowed to trade stocks so that they can continue to take care of their family and attract better talent. The average American worker earns about $64,000 a year. How are we expected to take care of our families on $64,000 a year if Congress is saying they can't on $174,000? And let me add that in 2025, Congress met for 133 days of 365 days during the year. So they're working a third of the year and they're broke. They can't pay their bills. I'd like to know from all of you fine people how many feel bad for them. Maybe we should pay a little more taxes. How many volunteers do we have to pay a little more taxes so that Congress can make more than $174,000 a year?
Not it.
Skip that one. Oh, this tick thing real quick. So I've been a little bit skeptical of it going along. Are they really dumping boxes, blah, blah, blah. But it was an interesting article from Joe Rogan who talks about these ticks things, and Tim Burchett, that's part of, our government, directly blamed Bill Gates for the tick epidemic. And so you guys know, I know that you love Bill Gates and all of the things that we talk about with him, but he is coming for the win again. He's here to hook you up again. They have started funding a vaccine for alpha-gal syndrome.
Oh, good.
Right? So they can absolutely save the day once again. How exciting is that? Jen says, time to share some homemade goodie recipes on Freestanding. Thank you. I would love that.
Nice.
Recipe. Mark says 0 amount of feel bad for Congress. Yeah. And says, nope, I knew you guys wouldn't feel bad for him. Real quick, Thomas Massie. Let's talk about him real quick before we get out of here. So you guys know that Thomas Massie lost his re-election bid. A couple things I thought were just super fascinating about it was, all of the stuff beforehand. There was the pro-Massie side was, this is saving America. Trump came out and really hammered on, Thomas Massie. People saying he's never done anything. He's just an obstructionist, blah, blah. And in fact, in Israel, the Israel newspaper Haaretz, I don't know how to pronounce it, ran the headline, "The most consequential Republican primary for Israel is happening in Kentucky." It's about Representative Thomas Massie's primary challenge in Kentucky District 4, where he faced heavy spending from pro-Israeli groups over his votes against unconstitutional U.S. aid to Israel. So Israel backed it, and the average, he raised like $5.5 million, and versus $35 million for this. I have the most expensive primary in the history of the United States of America, and he ends up losing. And again, we talked about today a lot. There's silver linings that kind of come from all of this, and I'll skip through a lot of this. But Thomas Massie had a Freedom Index score of 99, right? Very loved. I really like the guy. I think it's absolutely sad, but again, there's some interesting stuff coming. For anybody that tells you he never did anything, this is the guy that introduced legislation mandating warrants for AI-driven government surveillance, right? This is the guy that said you can't surveil your own people. We don't spend taxpayer dollars to go to war unless there's no other choice, right? This was an MIT graduate, super smart, lives off grid. If you've never seen the documentary Off Grid with Thomas Massie, super cool. You should absolutely go check it out. Many people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, said, hey, it was super great serving with him. He was a great guy, all of those kind of things. But something that I found really interesting that came out of it is right here. So check this out. Thomas Massie has turnout doubled. So in 2024, during his last election, he received 39,000 votes. Okay, his opponent received 12,000. So basically, that's 51,000 people, 52,000 people voted total in 2024. In 2026, 105,000 people voted.
Nice.
Yeah, Thomas Massie received 47,000 votes. So he received 8,000 more votes, right? So he received 19% more votes than he did the year he was elected. The problem is his opponent received 356% more. So they went from a 52,000 person turnout to 105,000 person turnout, and he lost the election. The other thing that's great about this that I really love is that if you look into the numbers, Massie won ages basically 17 to 55, right? The other guy won ages 56 through 76. So basically the boomers are who voted Massie out mainly, but he held the young people. So think about this, you guys. The young people voted for Constitution, right? The young people voted for no surveillance. The young people voted for no more tyranny. The young people stood up. That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
That is an absolute wonderful, wonderful thing. Gratitude to Grace said, I haven't had a tick in years. This year, I get 3 or 4 every day. Ouch. Shalom Today says, never forget Doug Harley's end, no knock, and nighttime warrants for nonviolent crimes. Yeah. I'd love that, right? Yeah, Nito says something smells fishy. It's completely fishy. The Massie documentary is on YouTube channel, Free the People. Yeah, go do it. So, guys, he lost. That sucks. But he carried the young vote. The constitutionalist carried the young vote. This is absolutely exciting to me. I will also tell you that there are Thomas Massies in every county. There are people like this that are running all over. We have to get behind them and support them.
Yeah.
Right? We need to help this movement grow. And I can't tell you how excited I am that more and more young people are waking up to the Great Awakening. And I'm telling you, there's a new political party coming. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know who's all going to be on it, but the Great Awakening is coming. One last thing I'll share with you guys before I get out of here that I thought was interesting. You know how last week we talked about how Tulsi Gabbard's office was raided by the CIA, and that she was in charge, and it was still raided by the CIA. She resigned today.
Did she?
Yes, and she was one of my favorite. Now, the reason she resigned is she said that her husband has a rare form of bone cancer, and she's resigning to go and be with him and to take care of him. But it is awful fishy that it comes right after, right, that they raided.
Yeah.
And it also comes after she had big disagreements with Trump on Iran.
Yeah.
And so I could absolutely see a Tulsi Gabbard, Massie, Rand Paul, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lowen Boebert, all of these people forming this new America First Party. And I would welcome it, and I would absolutely get behind it. But we shall see, right? Shalom Today says, bring back the requirement for a witness and personal firsthand knowledge for warrants, no exceptions for hearsay. I like that too. No more vaccines. Yeah, I will never follow a public health announcement ever again in my life. How can you trust any of it? Right?
Yeah.
I can't trust any of it.
Who knew?
Yeah, I'm going to remove this and get to my last slide here because there's some good stuff in there. You got
a lot.
I'm going to put one more back up. Sorry, we'll be a little bit late. I hope you guys don't mind. To your point, see this picture? Right there,
whale?
So that's Madison Square Gardens, and they used holograms to float whales. Right? And so you think Project Bluebeam can't happen? What will it take for the American people to accept a central bank digital currency, digital ID, social credit scores? What will it take?
Well, yeah, because they can show you your own God in the sky.
Jesus will come talk to you.
Right.
Right? They are preparing for the greatest false flag operation in human history. Right? Show the UFO disclosure, show the hearings, show the proof. I can't think of, right? What would make people beg to be saved? Right? What would make it? Absolutely insane. I'm going to leave you guys with this quote because I think it's super important, which is never let anyone take away your freedom because of the greater good, because freedom is the greater good. Right? I would rather be a lion in the Serengeti who had to fight for my food, who had to deal with predator pressure, who had to deal with all of those things, than I would be a lion in the zoo where all my needs are met, but I have no freedom and no choice. So I would really implore you guys to be the lion in the Serengeti. Yes, it's harder. Doing it all for yourself is hard. There's nothing easy about it, but what's the alternative? Right? Is it harder down the road because we all just put a blind eye up and now our kids and our grandkids get to do it?
Better be comfortable on your knees.
Right. I'm not going on my knees. I can assure you of that. But we love you guys. We'll see you guys in a week.
Be out.
Tag out. Good night, everybody. Hang in there. We're winning.